Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So what if I told you that it costs $1,000 and about a week's worth of your time to get a carry permit? Something that should be protected by the Constitution. Would you still do it? Well, if you think California has absolutely lost their minds, hit that thumbs up button and let's talk about what's going on. This video is proud to be sponsored by American Hartford Gold. Listen, if there is one thing that those of us in the firearms community understand, it's that you cannot rely on the government for your protection. Not with your life, and especially not with your wealth. Look, throughout our lifetime, the dominance of the US dollar was unquestioned, but that may be changing. As we face unprecedented inflation, the world's biggest economies are ditching the dollar for the yen. Banks are failing left and right, and the government is discussing a total control of all of your money with the new digital dollar. Don't let your life savings become a casualty of failing corporations or currency wars. Now is the time to call the only precious metal dealer that I trust, American Hartford Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your wealth portfolio with physical gold and silver. With the finest products, amazing customer service, and a buyback commitment, American Hartford Gold has a 5-star rating from thousands of reviews and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau. American Hartford Gold supports content like this that is committed to bringing you the truth. Tell them I sent you and they'll give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. So call them now. Click the link in the description or call 866-856-2507. That's 866-856-2507 or text COPPER to 65532. Again, that's 866-856-2507 or text COPPER to 65532. Okay, so let's go and talk about what's going on here. So one of the biggest problems that people in California who support the Second Amendment are facing is the fact that there's pretty much no firearm preemption law in California. That means that each county in California can enact whatever law they want, and it can supersede the law that already exists in California, and that can create a lot of problems. There could be, different laws just depending on what county you're in. That means from San Diego County to LA County, you could experience multiple laws as you go through each county, and that is a big problem. One of the ways that California has been extending a lot of these issues and problems that Californians have been seeing with concealed carry permits is they've started enacting per county different requirements in order to get your permit. And a lot of counties in the state of California have started charging ridiculous fees and asking for ridiculous requirements to be fulfilled in order to even begin the process of obtaining your permit. Now, a lot of these counties have made it so difficult that you're looking at $1,000, maybe even more, but I think at minimum it's like $650, but more than $1,000 just to get your permit. Now, one of the newest places to do this is going to be Santa Clara County, which also covers San Francisco, and there's a lot of people in these counties. I don't think people really understand the scale of California counties. Think about LA County alone. I believe LA County has something like 5 times more the population than the entire state of Nevada. There are millions of people that just live in that one county alone. So if you add these counties, it really does cover a lot of people, and in a lot of cases more than some states' entire population. So this does affect a ton of people. And so what's going on here is that each one of these counties is saying, okay, we're going to go ahead and abide by the minimums that, were set forth by Newsom and some of his policies that he wanted to pass. That means that now you're going to have to pay for a lot of stuff. You're going to have to pay for your fingerprints. You're going to have to pay for the application. You're going to have to pay for a psychiatric evaluation in most places. You're going to have to pay for 16 hours of training. So, that's 2 8-hour days worth of training that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to pay for your background checks. I mean, everything has a fee associated with it. And when you add all of that up, you're looking at $1,000 or more in a lot of cases in the state of California. So let's just say, for instance, that you did it all. You did your psych evaluation, you did your 16 hours of training, you passed your written exam, background checks, fingerprints, you did all of that. You finally got your permit, let's say after a year. I've heard some people are waiting more than a year and still haven't heard anything back. But let's just say that you do. You still can't carry anywhere because a lot of these counties are making pretty much everything a sensitive location. And so you can't carry in a sensitive location. And if everything is a sensitive location, you can't leave the house. You can't go about your daily life, right? So you can't go to a Walmart if there's something else that's in the parking lot that happens to be a sensitive location. You can't go throughout your daily life and still carry. So you just went through all that. You spent all that money. You spent all that time going down to the office and filling out paperwork, and you still can't use your permit. Now, try and keep in mind that all of this has to do with a right. And the Supreme Court says that we have a right to carry outside of the house, right? We have a right to carry outside of our home. We have a right to carry inside of our home. You know, we have a Second Amendment right that is in place. But for some reason, after you spend $1,000 to be able to practice that right, you still can't use it. I mean, could you imagine, just imagine if somebody said that in order for you to speak freely, you would first have to go through all of this training, all these background checks and fingerprints and psych evaluations, just to be able to have some type of free speech. And then once you were able to have that free speech, they said, but you can't say all of these different things, pretty much can't speak at all. I mean, that's pretty much what the comparison is here, because we're talking about an enumerated right that California seems to think is just, it doesn't exist. Now, there's pretty much a court case for each one of these issues and each one of these problems. There's court cases that are dealing with sensitive locations. There's court cases that are dealing with open carry currently in California, because in California you still can't open carry. I mean, there's a lot of cases that are going through the court system, but these things take years. I mean, some of the cases like Miller or Duncan or Renna, I mean, you take a look at those cases, they've been going for, I mean, nearly a decade now, right? I mean, they've been around forever. Some of these cases have even made their way up to the Supreme Court, which were kicked back down, and the process has started all over again. And so people are just not seeing relief in that state like they should be. We're talking about a constitutional right, and I think that, you know, time is of the essence here, and people shouldn't have to wait a day to be able to practice their right. They just shouldn't. I mean, all these states that are doing constitutional stuff, that's the way that it should be across the entire country. I mean, there should be some type of you know, uniformity to that, but for some reason states like California think that, well, the Constitution doesn't apply to them, and that's what you get. You get about a week of your time taken away, right? Which is, time is money, and then you also have to pay ridiculous amounts of money, and then you have to wait a super long time, and then after waiting that long time, you still can't use it anyway. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and it's gotten so out of control now with these different counties doing whatever they want that I just wanted to bring that to you. Again, Santa Clara being the most recent to enact some of the most extreme. It's unbelievable. Anyway, that's what's happening in California, and it's terrible to see, because I know there's a lot of good people out there. But I want to let you know about that. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.